Welcome. I'm delighted that you're here. This is Tai Njio at tainjio.com, offering you the Yuen Method educational video series. Now, this video is really powerful. This is where you're going to learn the 6 levels of influence. Now, why is that so important? Well, you know, when you're working with somebody and you're trying to find out what their root cause is, let's say they have a physical issue and you're muscle testing and you go, no, it's not physical, it's something else. You can actually use these 6 levels to find out which level it really is happening on. So, you know, maybe it's not physical, maybe it's emotional. So, just giving you some tips there already. And yes, you have heard me speak about these 6 levels in different videos at different times. But, you know, here we're going to go through them so that you really understand each one. This is an introduction to them, so we're going to go through them. What are they, you know, and why are they important? And then there'll be other videos on each specific level just to go deeper. The reason that is because there's a lot to cover. Each different level, you know, has so much that you could possibly check for that we need to break it down. But it's really good to get this foundation. With this, you're able to work. And maybe sometimes, you know, you're a little confused, you're working on somebody, you go, well, I don't know, they're telling me it's this mental thing and I feel like there's emotional stuff, but, you know, it's not really testing that. So what is it? And you can elaborate a little bit, give yourself some guidance, some direction. So I just wanted to let you know that, you know, I've taught over 75 seminars and classes on the Yuen Method teaching this specific tool. So I really feel like I can offer this to you from a really genuine place. And again, it's coming from a natural place. It's coming from just explaining to you, you know, what this is about, how it works, why it's so important and really easy. And really just take it as information, take it as a guide. You know, if there's no right or wrong way, it's just another piece that you add to your toolbox when you're doing the Yuen Method. So let's begin now on checking what those 6 levels are. So what I'm going to do is write them down here for you so that you can kind of keep looking at them as we work. So what is that first level? Yes, you know what it is because you've heard me talk about it so often, and we played with it a lot in the other videos. So here it is that mental level. Now, what is the mental? You know, when you're working on somebody, what does mental mean? Well, mental could be thoughts, it could be ideas, it could be belief systems, it could be knowledge, anything that's going on in the mind. Maybe you're working on somebody and they go, you know, I'm really stressed and I can just feel it's my physical body. And you go, well, you know, when I check your physical body, it's actually not weak. But when I check your mind, there's so much, you're like in your mind so much that you're off balance. So, you know, that would be just an idea here of how we work with the mind, with the mental level. Let's just keep moving here so that we can just really add lots of pieces. So what is the next level? Now the next level you already know because we talked about every time you have a thought, you have a reaction to that thought, and that reaction comes up on the emotional level. So here it is on that emotional level. And what is that emotional level? What are some ideas and possibilities on the emotions? So emotional could be sadness, could be anger, could be frustration, fear, depression, all of those things that come from, you know, a feeling that you actually experience as a feeling. So that's going to be that emotional level. And remember that they're connected. You have a thought, you have an emotional reaction to the thought. You have a belief system. You know, a belief system is something that's so ingrained that you believe, you're passionately like connected to it until you believe it and it becomes part of you. So it's deeper. Once again, you know, you're working with somebody and you want to know, you know, is it really mental or is it emotional or is it something else? So keep going down this list here just so that you have this beautiful guide that you can work with. So let's look at the next level here. And I haven't really introduced this one too much, but here it is. So I'm going to write that one down. Whoops. Make sure we get that spelled right. Psychological. Now, this one, we don't talk about it per se too much, yet psychological is psychologic. So it is when you get so wrapped up in your mind and so intensely emotional about this thing that you're thinking about that it's a little bit beyond just a thought and an emotion. It's really almost psycho. I like to explain it that way. So here's an example. A panic attack. You're thinking about something so intensely and your emotion gets so wrapped up that you've just got this whole panic attack. Another one would be fear, like fear of death. Bottom line fear, what's really going on. Even people with money. Why do they get so stressed out about money? Because, oh my gosh, if I don't make money, I won't be able to eat and I'll die. This is a bottom line fear, and a lot of times when you're working on people, get to that root. That's the human instinct, is that if I don't make money, I won't be able to eat and I'll die. So that's more on the psychological level. And sometimes we need to go there, take it a little bit deeper, and really get to the bottom of it. And once we clear that up and we take that weakness, and we clear that weakness, make it strong, that psychological energy will release. Just want to introduce this little piece again, that you don't forget that all of this, the mental, emotional, psychological things, are frequencies of energy. They're just different waves of energy. So, the emotion of anger is one frequency. You can imagine little waves, and maybe they're really, intense because it's anger. And then you can think of sadness, and maybe sadness is a little bit rounder, but it drags out, that different wave. So that's what we're working with, where they're just labels for different frequencies of energy that we're experiencing, working with, that are weakening us, that we need to clear, make ourselves strong too, so they don't affect us. So, interjecting that little piece in there. Let's keep going on over here. The next level that we can check is that psychic level. So psychic, is going to go beyond the mind, beyond the emotions, and beyond that psychological level, and it's going to come in on like little waves just coming in towards you. They're really non-conscious very often. You don't even know that it's happening, but you feel it. You walk into that room and all of a sudden you have this like really weird feeling. It's like, oh my God, what's going on here? I need to leave. There's something, someone, or somehow an energy that's entering in you and you can feel it. So that would be on the psychic level. A little example here with that one. When you're on the phone with somebody and you're sharing with them maybe an amazing experience that you've had, and it's like, wow, I went downtown and I met with this friend and I got this amazing opportunity for this great project, and you're really excited and you're sharing with this person, and this person on the other end of the line, maybe they're having a lower moment in life and they're listening to you and they're going, wow, why does that not happen to me? Why don't I get these amazing opportunities? And in a way they're jealous. But they're listening, and they're just listening, but they're having their experience with that. And they go, yeah, well, good. I'm happy for you. It sounds great. You get off the phone, and all of a sudden you feel really off, and you feel like, wow, why do I feel so weird? Like, what happened to my energy? What happened to all the excitement I had? And what's really going on is that this person psychically, just through their jealousy, it actually has sent an energy towards you, a frequency, and it almost cut off your energy, it cut off your excitement. So when you're working on yourself, you go, okay, wow, I was just on the phone, it's not mental, it's not emotional, it's not psychological, psychic. Oh, I must have got some psychic thing when I just got off the phone. You go ahead and strengthen that weakness, and then you check in, oh, I feel better now. So, a little example, I like to throw those in. Let's keep moving down the line here and get to the next one, which is a big one. Yep, it is spiritual. Now, what is spiritual? When we've been doing the whole Yuen Method this whole time, and all these pieces that you're learning, we never really talked about it as that spiritual thing, and we don't really get into this whole spiritual experience. So that's one way to look at this, because this is a very easy, simple, direct technique. When we look at spiritual, what are we talking about? Some people get scared of that word and they're like, wow, that's pretty loaded. What is this? Do we have to go there? Think of spiritual as your connection to yourself, to your higher source. Think of spiritual as connection to the universe. For you, some people might be connection to God. So it's really that connection on a higher level. And if you think of that way, you can really get, actually, when you're working on yourself or somebody else, when they're disconnected from that spirit energy, living too much in the mind, so intensely in the body, there's like no connection to anything, even nature. Nature can be spirit world, because you just go for a walk in nature and all of a sudden you feel regrounded again and connected and like, oh wow, there's more to me than just this mind and my emotions and this physical body. So that would be a beautiful thing to check for spiritual level. In the spiritual level, you're going to be learning on those other specific videos. There's also other specific pieces, but just leave it right there. Let's just leave it really simple because it's beautiful. Now let's go to that last level. This is the one that's unlike all of these. This one is a little bit dense. So here we go. Yes, it is the physical level. So physical, the physical body, your physical experience. When you're having a physical interaction, but really also the physical body is a good one to look at, because this is where we're having our conscious physical dense experience. So when we look at the physical body, this has a lot of subcategories, a lot of areas you can work on, because we have all of our systems in our body, and then we can break those down to the different organs. We have the cellular level, then the molecular level, and the atoms and molecules, and then energy, and there's so much on that physical level. We have to look at our eyes, and our breath and what's going on. When we're working on disease and illness and pain, that's all things that are being experienced on that physical level. So there's a lot right there. It is where we manifest things. Once we've thought about things and had our emotional reactions, we got tense, and then we created that blockage in our body, and then we have this physical pain. So it's really like the last place that things will manifest in us. And when people come to you, when they want you to work on them, they're going to be like, work on my physical body, please. So to work on that physical body, we also have to look at all these different levels, because very often, if you've had a physical pain and you've gone and had a massage and you went swimming and you tried several different things and it didn't go away, it's because really it's something else. The underlying root cause of this pain is really something else. Maybe it's just a psychic connection to something. So here we go. You've learned those 6 levels of influence that are part of the foundation of the Yuen Method when you're learning it. And it's always something good to refer back to if you're needing some guidance. Sometimes when we're working on ourselves, especially, we're so involved in our own issue that we're not so intuitive, and it's hard to get to what it really is. So just check, I'm feeling emotional right now. Is it really emotional? No. Okay, so go through mental, psychological, psychic, spiritual, physical. So it's like, oh, spiritual 1 week. Oh, really? I'm just disconnected from myself, and I need to really recenter. And you do that, and then it's like, oh, I don't feel so emotional anymore. So beautiful. I'm delighted that you've taken the step to learn this piece. And you may have taken a seminar, or maybe you're new to this, but this is the foundation and a very key piece to the Yuen Method. And now you can play with that through your muscle testing, with your intuition, working on yourself, working on somebody else, and really enjoy it. Wow, thank you. So keep going with these educational videos, because this is a great way for you to learn. You can learn from your own home. And I'm always delighted to share them with you, because there's so much, and I have so much passion for this work and to teach it to you. Thank you again. Tai Njio at tainjio.com.